8 minutes and 20 seconds. That is how long it takes for the light from the sun to reach Earth. And it only takes an 8-minute conversation to impact a friend's mental well-being. And that is exactly how long it's going to take me to show you how to find a dangerously good-looking property, finding it on Rightmove. Let the time begin. So the first thing we need to do is find a good area, and the area I'm going to pick is LS9. The reason I like LS9 in Leeds is it's a really solid investment area. You do need to be careful of certain roads, but in general, it's a good area, great capital growth, great yield, and good investment prospects. When you're looking for your area, think about your end user, which is the renter or the person buying the property. You want schools, logistics, hospitals, good infrastructure that's going to make it a good place to live. And then we start focusing on the houses. The next thing I want you to do, and I'm going to narrow this down on here, is I only like focusing on houses. And the reason for that isn't that it's a house or a flat, it's the legal structure around it. So freeholds versus leaseholds. A freehold property means you own the ground underneath the property. A leasehold is you are leasing the ground underneath. So flats, for example, you're entering somebody else's building to get access to your flat. So freehold properties only. In general, I want to focus on properties that are between 2-bed and 4-bedroom properties. The reason for that is I like targeting family-run properties rather than first-time buyers or renters, etc. And then really I want a price range up to around that 200,000 mark, just to keep my options open. Once I click search, as you can see, there are 47 results on this. And what I want to do is be able to go through these, and it's really interesting to see. So Cold Coats own one on that road, Rookwood own one on that road. Let's find a random one that we want to look for, and I think we're going to go with this one. So this is the property we're going to go through. It's Osmondthorpe Lane for 150,000. And you can see it's listed with Manning Staton on here. So it's decent, no forward chain, which is always good, which means I can buy it without it causing any issues. We're going to jump across to the deal analyzer, and what I want to do on Lendlord, and if you don't have Lendlord already, I'll put a link in. It's completely free. Trust me, it will change your life in property. We're going to go on the deal analyzer, click the property URL, and we're going to paste in that URL there. With this particular property, we're going to look at it being a BRR. So as you can see from this, going through the photos, as much as your nan might love this property, it might need a little bit of an update from the swirly carpets, the smoke stain ceilings, and of course the avocado bath set. I mean, that's beautiful, the red carpet, but we'll probably get rid of that as well. So we're going to go on there, we're going to call it BRR, buy with some, probably cash, exit with mortgage, and we're going to click the BRR analyzer button, and let's see what it comes up with. So here we go. We see the full thing here, and I really like this. It shows the average yield in the area 8.1%. We've got 5-year growth at 4.9%. I always say if it's 7% yield and 5% capital growth, you're in really good stead already. This is a 2-bedroom property, semi-detached house. I actually think, was it semi-detached? Yep, it was a semi-detached property. Just double checking that. It is indeed. And you just want to fact check some of these numbers. Refurb cost £30,000. So by the way, I've not put 30k in there. It's got all of this information, the growth, the schools, the equity, the long term. What I really want to do is summarize with AI. And I think this is a really cool feature. So it's just analyzing everything that I need to know. And at the click of a button, Lendlord will tell me everything about this property. So you can see it's a current property analysis focused on a semi-detached, LS9. Key points, semi-detached, 2-bed, 2-bath, EPC level A, average interior garden, purchase price 150k, 30k, refurbishment cost, closing fees, which is more of an American term, but like your stamp duty and everything like that. Post-refurb valuation at 210,000. That is very interesting. So it's analysed my finance, my rental income, my refurbishment, and everything else in between at a click of a button. Now look, I could geek out on this all day. I'm a massive numbers nerd, but I know we've only got 8 minutes, so I'm going to cut to the chase, and we really want to just adjust the figures right now, because whilst it's really good looking at all of this, we want to make sure we've got absolutely everything as perfect as we can when it comes comes to those numbers. So we're going to scroll down here, and as you can see is there's this big range factor there. So we're going to leave the property purchase price until last, and then we're going to alter through that. So the first thing I want to do is look at comparables, and on Lendlord you've got this in the top right hand corner, which is this little toggle button where you just click it and it's going to show comparables on the map. And the reason I really like this is it's going to show us like for like properties that we can do our data from. And as I drag the map around, you can see everything that I need. So you can see here we've got 56 Osmonthorpe, which is on the same, a terrace property at 200,000. We've got this property here, 170,000. We've got these ones down here, completely different properties. And then let's have a look at this one over here, 225. So I can see where they're coming from with the 210,000, but I can also see that there might be some variance in there. So the reason this is really important is I'm looking for like property in a similar location to be able to make an accurate assessment on the property. So in general, it looks fairly on it. I would say it's relatively accurate, give or take £5,000. So it's all very well and good looking at something and going, the numbers work pretty well. But just because it's listed at that price doesn't mean that's what I'm going to go in for. So with this property, if I come across, and we're going to put in a cheeky little offer all the way down at 135,000, and I'm sure I'll get politely rejected on that. But that's absolutely fine. But really what I want to know is, where are the numbers looking? So I know that if I can get it at 135, then my cap rate is going to be 6.93%. My return on capital deployed, which is a huge one that I'm looking at, 16.23%. And I can play around with this, by the way, so you can move the toggle around however you want. And this is the thing I love. It's like if I could get it £5,000 less and I could spend £5,000 less, what does it look like then? If my rent actually only come in at 850 versus the 895, what would that look like? If it refinanced at 200, what would that look like? And the cool thing is, down here, I can look at best case, worst case, and best there. So you got worst, best, standard, as you go through these long-term metrics, which are really powerful. It gets better in Lendlord. I think this is really cool. So now that we've got everything together, we understand the data, and you can spend hours going through this, but I've only got about 2 minutes left. So I'm going to click this finance this deal button. And this is really powerful because I can look at bridging this. Bridging is short-term finance if I don't have anything. So right up here, Lendlord's digital lender comes up. I can just click proceed with that, and it will automatically start bringing me to a separate page where I can start looking at this. So I'm just going to go, it's a non-auction purchase, and you can go through this, 152, loan amount that I want on there. Let's say I want 120,000, so it's a 59%. I've got my email and phone number on there. So we go through this. Is the property used as security? As security, your residential address, new. Sale of property, how do you intend to repay the bridging, refinance the property? What's your approximate annual income? 50k plus. What is the security address? Yes, we've got it in there. How many properties do you own? 24 plus. Have you experienced any bankruptcy? No. What stage are you at? Viewing properties, made an offer. What type of security is it? Semi-detached property. When would you like to get financing for the property? As soon as possible. How much do you plan to spend on refurbishment? We said £30,000. What's the expected future value of the project? We said £210,000. Good news, we're excited to let you know that we can finance this. And what they can do is give me a free valuation. So that was me rushing through it for the sake of this video, but suddenly we found a property, we've analysed it, played around with the figures, and it actually looks like a really solid deal at 16% return on capital employed, which I think is absolutely crazy. And we've now got financing in place. Well, we don't actually have it in place, but everything at a click of a button. And I think that's really cool. So look, I'm not saying that tech should replace what we're doing as human beings, but with one piece of software, we've managed to get a URL, okay, the web domain, and copy and paste that in, and then the AI has managed to figure out from the photos what the refurbishment is likely to be. And I'm not saying it's accurate, but it's pretty bloody accurate from what I know of the area and those photos. But then we're going to send a build around. This is a really good snapshot, and in about 8 minutes I figured out, here's the property, plug it in, it's worked out the purchase cost, the refurb cost, the end value, the return on capital deployed, all all of that, it's got an AI summary. I can click a button and get all of my finance in one place. And what Lendlord's really good at is it allows us to make offers with speed, remembering that money loves speed and money hates friction. By using this tech, it allows us to make pivotal decisions, data center decisions quickly that we can submit and close deals, whilst other people that aren't using this are spending an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours to get the same outcome. So we now know the numbers, subject to satisfactory reviewing. We've now got our finance in place, subject to a free valuation. If that doesn't give you power to take action, I don't know what will. If you're interested in Lendlord, click the link below. It's completely free. I'll put it in the description. Doesn't make me any money, doesn't cost you any money, but if you do want the premium feature, which unlocks amazing levels, including the free valuation, put Lendlord in the comments and I'll send you the VIP link, which you can get a 50% discount on. I hope this has been helpful. What I really wanted to communicate with you is, why aren't you using AI? Why aren't you using software when you can literally have it at the click of your fingertips, absolutely free? I've been using Lendlord now, and this is absolutely a pitch for them. They're not paying me to do this. I've been using Lendlord for about 3 years now. I've used it for bridging, refinancing, and made millions by using the platform for free. So why aren't you doing the same thing? Let me know what you think of it. I really love the software. I really hope it impacts you in the way that it impacts me and my business on a day-to-day basis. I hope this has been valuable. Go out there, find deals, get the analysis, get the numbers in, and get your finance in place to make your next step towards financial freedom. I hope this helped. Hit the like and the subscribe button. If you're new to the channel, or even you're a repeat viewer but you haven't subscribed yet, only 50% of you subscribe, which is absolutely crazy. If you want to be one of them, hit subscribe and the notification bell, and if not, I'll see you in the next video.